North Dakota's infrastructure was raked over the coals today in a newly released report.
KX News reporter Robert Suhr reports.
It's important to note that with the challenges that we have in North Dakota, the public is still safe.
That was just one of the messages relayed Tuesday morning after the North Dakota section of the American Society of Civil Engineers released its first ever report card for the state's infrastructure. And some of the grades resembled those of a 6th grade algebra student. Now, North Dakota received D grades for the quality of its bridges and dams, C's in almost all other categories, including drinking water, energy, the state of its levee system, public transit, and wastewater. The highest grade was just a B- for the condition of the state's roads, giving North Dakota an overall grade of just a C. Officials say dams received the lowest grade because 49 of the state's dams are considered high hazard, meaning a failure could result in a loss of life. The silver lining is the state does have an emergency action plan for those dams. Drinking water earned a C grade because many water treatment plants are at the end of their service lives and need immediate attention. State Senator Rich Wardner was in attendance and says the state actually lucked out.
If it wasn't for the oil development out in western North Dakota, all of the grades on here would be 1 grade less. The D's would be F's, the C's would be D's, and the B would be probably a C or a D.
Josh Boucher is the House Minority Leader and tells me infrastructure funding is always a top priority.
I served on an interim committee when we were looking at ways to increase funding, sustainable funding for infrastructure, so the conversation's not new. I think it's an opportunity for us to work with the private sector, such as groups that presented today, to find those solutions and do it in an efficient way that saves taxpayers money.
Brandon Oy was one of the authors of the report and tells me people don't think about how much they depend on infrastructure dozens of times a day.
From the time you get up in the morning, you're brushing your teeth, you're turning that water on, flushing the toilets, making sure that things work well there, to getting in your vehicle and driving to work and using roads that are going to get you to where you're going. I think if things start to happen, it's almost devastating to your lifestyle and your quality of life.
Now, if you're wondering how North Dakota stacks up against other neighboring states, Minnesota and Montana also earned C grades. As a whole, the United States received a grade of D+ for infrastructure, meaning North Dakota is actually a little ahead of the curve. Robert Suhr, KX News.
The state does have some time to make improvements on its grades.
Another report will be released in about 3 years.
So to come on KX News,